You're the garden of my heart, where the shadows grow the deep. There's a darkness that I've hidden, a secret I couldn't keep. Behind the curtain of the stage, in the silence of the night, when I'm catching every ragged breath, trembling in the light. Your eyes weren't looking for a verdict, you weren't looking for a fee. You were waiting in the wreckage just to hold the heart of me. And the light is breaking through the walls I built in fear. There's a peace in the surrender, knowing that you're here. In the shadow of your love, I am finally free, resting in the mercy that was waiting there for me. Even in the burning heat, I'm steady and I'm sound. Underneath your wings where the healing can be found, I'm breathing in the wonder, I'm finding my way. In the shadow of your love, I'm gonna stay. The storm inside my spirit, it hushes at your sound. I'm trading in my striving for the grace that I have found. I don't have to chase the morning, I don't have to prove a thing, 'cause there's a holy kind of quiet in the cover that you bring. There is life within the cover of your wings, where the deepest shadow hides the greatest light it brings. Fear is losing all its power, I am standing on the rock. I'm unmoved, I'm unshaken, I'm steady on the walk. I'm covered by the mercy, yeah, I'm covered by the grace. Oh, in the shadow of your love, you're covering me. In the shadow of your love, just gonna stay here. In the shadow of your love, oh, shadow of your love, oh, shadow of your love. In the shadow of your love.
I used to think the sound was just the things I heard with ears, a symphony of static and the frequency of fears. But then you whispered something in the hollow of my chest, a vibration of a promise that put all my ghosts to rest. I'm just a frequency, a note that you decided you would write, a ripple in the darkness that is learning how to carry light. I'm finding that the loudest things are whispers in the dark, the way you're moving through the silence, leaving every mark. Oh, I am just the echo of the unseen, a resonance of goodness in the places where I've been. You're the source of every vibration, you're the singer and the song, and I'm just finding out the rhythm where my heart is aimed to belong. Not a shout, not a flame, just a steady holy sound, living in the for thunder, I don't need the crashing wave. I'm finding all the power in the quiet way you save. My life is just a mirror catching light from out of view. I'm turning down the noise just to harmonize with you. Or whatever you are saying, yeah, I'm leaning in to hear. The frequency of heaven is the only thing that's clear. I am the resonance, I am the sound, I am the temple where your glory is found. You're the heartbeat underneath the floorboards of my soul. You're the melody that makes the broken spirit whole. Keep on speaking, let it ripple, let it roar. And I am the echo of the work that you have done. You're the singer, I'm the song, steady in the sound. I spent my youth trying to draw a circle around my heart, thinking if I kept it closed, I'd never fall apart. But the lines I sketched were jagged and the compass slipped my hand. I'm just a tangle of a person on a shifting piece of land. And you showed me that the brokenness is just a different shape, a wide and open intersection where I finally find escape. It's not a perfect square, it's not a boundary I define. It's the beautiful collision of your mercy and my time. This is the geometry of grace, where the sinner meets the Savior in the middle of the space. You take my crooked lines and you make them align with the purpose and a pattern that is purely divine. It's a design that's deeper than the scars upon my face. Yeah, I'm living in the geometry of grace. Geometry of grace. You're calculating distance by the depth of what I feel, turning every lonely angle into something that is real. I thought the apex of my life was somewhere in the height, but you're the center point of gravity that pulls me through the night. Every fracture is a vector pointing back to where you are. The geometry of grace is written every single scar. You're framing up the hope where I saw the despair. You're aligning the load that I couldn't bear. It's a perfect design, it's a blueprint of love. It's the power below and the mercy above. You're the axis, you're the center, you're the weight of it all. You're holding the structure every time that I fall. I used to think that faith was just a blueprint in my head, a structure I could build upon the things that I had read. But then the wind came blowing and the foundation hit the floor, and I was left with nothing but a longing for some more. And now I see the rubble is the place where you begin to draw the lines of grace where I had only drawn the sin. It's not a monument I'm building for the world to see. It's the quiet work of restoration deep inside of me. Oh, this is the architecture of mercy, hand-laid stone by stone from the broken pieces of my past. You're building something beautiful, something meant to last. It's a design that's deeper than the hollows of my chest. In the architecture of mercy, I can finally take my rest. You're measuring my heart against the standard of your own, turning all the flinty, jagged parts into a cornerstone. I spent so many seasons trying to hide the cracks and seams, but you're the master builder who redeems the shattered dreams. And every single fracture is a place where you shine through. Yeah, the beauty isn't in the pain, it's in the work you do. You don't tear it down, you lift it up. You take the bitter cup and turn it into grace. There's a geometry to love that I cannot explain. How you map the joy right in the middle of the pain. Yeah, you're framing up the hope, you're bracing up the walls, you're catching every fragment every time it falls. Reading from a book that wasn't written on a shelf. It's the rhythm of the breathing in the middle of myself. I'm made of ancient earth, I'm made of static and of clay, just a walking piece of ground that's learning how to pray. I used to try to polish up the particles and grit, but you're finding all the holy in the way I'm losing it. It's not a choir standing tall, it's not a steeple made of stone. It's the falling of the scattered seeds that you have overgrown. Oh, this is the liturgy of the dust, a slow and steady anthem of a fragile holy trust. You're not looking for the gold, you're looking for the clay. You're catching every particle that's blowing in the way. Yeah, I'm bowing in the garden where the broken things remain, singing the liturgy of the dust beneath the latter rain. Beneath the latter rain. I'm tracing every vein, I'm counting every scar. The map of where I wandered is the place you've traveled far. You're turning every regret into a ritual of grace, finding every scattered piece and fitting it in place. There's a power in the humble, there's a kingdom in the small. I'm finally understanding why you chose to build it all from nothing. I am the earth that you chose to breathe in. I am the vessel where the glory is seeping. You're making a melody out of the dirt. You're finding the harvest inside of the hurt. It's a rhythm of mercy, it's a liturgy of soul. You're taking the fragments and you're making them whole. Of your hand, the liturgy of the dust, and I'm finally home.
Built on the fragile, the fleeting, the softest of things. Just a frame made of dust, held together by invisible strings. I thought I was stone, that I'd harden against all the wear. But you taught me the strength is in knowing I'm nothing but air. You don't need a monument, you don't need a spire of gold. You're building a temple from stories that haven't been told. It's not in the shouting, it's not in the earthquake or flame. It's the quiet inhalation of the whisper of your name. Oh, this is the architecture of breath, building a life in the middle of living and death. You're framing the ribs with the mercy you've breathed in my chest, in the tension of moving your teaching my spirit to rest. It's a design that's holy, a structure that you maintain, the architecture of breath, rising up through the rain. I'm learning the rhythm of letting the heavy things go, the art of the exhale, the pace of the things that I know. You're not in the hurry, you're not in the rush of the climb. You're dwelling in minutes, you're living in scraps of the time. Every inhale is a favor, every exhale a trust in the architecture
silence of the room at the end of a long, tired day. The static in my soul, watching the colors fade to gray. I don't remember what I chased. The hunger's worn away, just left with all the wreckage and the price I had to pay. But here within the quiet, where the air is still and thin, I feel your warmth arriving like the sun upon my skin. The world outside is spinning, trying to shake the ground. But in this space you're holding, it's the only peace I found. My home, your embrace. I'm finally coming back. The anchor for my spirit, the light upon my track. When I hear you call my name, everything starts to fade. My weary heart is resting in the promises you made. This is my home, my only love. I look inside the mirror, I see the lines of age, but you look at my story like a master on the page. You take my clumsy fingers and you hold them in your own, saying, well done, my servant, in a whisper low and known. And I'm falling to my knees, letting go of all the pride, just breathing in your spirit, satisfied to hide. I wandered far from center, but you were standing here. No wall is ever higher than the love that casts out fear. My broken, stammering confessions, they're music to your ears. My heavy, bitter teardrops are the jewels that you revere. I see it now, I see it now, I see it now. I was always meant to be in the deepest place of safety, where your heart is reaching me. I was picking up the pieces, trying to make them fit. Just a mountain of ashes, yeah, I was buried in it. A Had a blueprint for a life that I couldn't sustain, but you were working in the quiet, holding me through the pain. You didn't ask for perfection, you didn't ask for a show. You just walked into the wreckage where the broken people go. And I'm learning that the fire isn't meant to be the end, it's just the clearing of the ground where you begin. You're taking all the broken parts, knitting them in gold, turning every single story into something to behold. You're the master of the ruin, you're the author of the mend, and I'm standing in the goodness that you started at the end. Yeah, I'm living in the mercy that you softly display, seeing beauty from the ashes that I threw away. It's a rhythm of surrender, a slow and steady climb, trading in my heavy burdens for a peace I cannot define. I used to think that holy meant I had to hide the mess, but you're breathing life in places that I was too afraid to confess. I'm done with the hiding, I'm laying down the shame. There's a quiet kind of power when I call on your name. You're rewriting the history, you're changing the view. There's nothing in the rubble that you cannot renew. You're making it new. You're touching my heart. I spent a lifetime building castles on the shoreline of my pride, thinking if I stack the stone enough I'd turn away the tide. But the waves are just the rhythm of a God I couldn't tame, and I'm watching every tower wash away beneath his name. I'm standing in the salt spray with the grip between my toes, looking for a shelter that the shifting current knows. I was looking for the solid rock, but you led me to the strand, to teach me that you're hiding as an anchor in the sand. The heavy holy gift when the world is rearranging and the ground begins to move. I am tethered to the promise that you nothing left to prove. Everything is sinking, but I'm standing where I stand, held by the anchor in the sand. You're changing all my questions into answers that I breathe. It's a chemistry of surrendering, it's a courage to believe. I'm letting go of anchors that were made of iron and rust, to finally find the weight of you beneath the desert dust. You're moving beneath the surface, you're moving underneath the pain. You're turning the loss of the shoreline into the eternal gain. I'm not looking for the mountain the surface, the anchor in the sand, steady in the shift. I've got a collection of bottles filled with the salt of the night. Every regret that I'm holding, kept hidden away from the light. I used to think sorrow was something to sweep under floorboards and rugs, just a heavy-set shadow, a poison I'd drink in my mugs. But you're not afraid of the liquid, you're not afraid of the stain. You look at the mess that I'm making, and you call it the harvest of rain. And I'm standing here with my hands open wide, turning the faucet, laying it all on the side. Oh, this is the alchemy of tears, turning the lead of my sorrow into the gold of the years. You're changing the weight of the burden into a light I can hold. You're refining the story, you're breaking the mold. I'm pouring it out till the vessel is dry. The alchemy of tears beneath your open sky. They say that the desert is barren, that nothing can grow in the drought. But you find the spring in the canyon, the answer to every doubt. My grief is the river that's running directly to where you reside. I'm done with the dam and I'm done with the turn in the tide. Whatever I've cried in the darkness, you're catching it all in your palms, and you're stirring it up with your mercy and turning my weeping to psalms. You're not wasting the drop, you're not wasting the single sting. You're turning the winter's bite into the song of the spring. It's a chemistry holy, it's a fire that heals. You're breaking the sorrow, you're breaking the seals. I'm trading the ashes for beauty again. You're washing the guilt and you're washing the pain. Turning the lead into gold, you're catching every drop. The alchemy of tears. I'm home in your grace. I've been training for the ascent, trying to scale the vertical wall, mapping out a way to reach the top, bracing for the inevitable fall. My hands are calloused from the climbing, my lungs are burning for the air. But the higher I reach for the summit, thinner the oxygen air. And just when my grip starts to slip and the heights look a little too steep, I feel a pull from the bottom, I promise I'm starting to keep. I'm tired of the struggle to rise, I'm done with the fight to ascend. Cause you're meeting me right at the valley, right where I'm meeting the end. Oh, there's a gravity to your grace. It doesn't pull me up, it pulls me into your embrace. I'm letting go of the summit, I'm falling into the deep, where the love of the Father is a secret that you keep. It's not about how high I go, it's about how low you came. The gravity of grace is calling me by my name. They told me the kingdom was somewhere above the clouds, but you found me hiding in the dirt, far away from the crowds. I was looking for a throne in the sky, you were building a home in the dust, turning my frantic ambition into a quiet, holy trust. The weight of my failure is nothing compared to the weight of your hold. It's a different kind of math, a story that's never been told. I'm dropping the ladder, I'm dropping the rope, I'm trading the climb for a different kind of hope. You're heavy with mercy, you're heavy with light, you're pulling me out of the darkness and into the side. What